The 10 most mysterious beings in the Bible. A deep dive. The Bible is filled with profound mysteries and awe-inspiring beings that often leave readers in wonder. Some of these beings are beyond human comprehension, shrouded in symbolism, mystery, and divine revelation. Today we are embarking on a fascinating journey to explore the 10 most mysterious entities recorded in the Bible. These beings, though not always fully understood, hold deep spiritual significance and play critical roles in God's divine plan. Before we dive into the details of these mysterious beings, take a moment to reflect on the vastness of the universe and the spiritual realms. Imagine a place beyond time and space, where divine light and power radiate, and creatures of unimaginable form exist. In this realm, God's glory shines, and beings, some familiar, others strange and awe-inspiring, surround him in eternal worship. From the celestial throne room of God to the mystical creatures encountered by prophets, the Bible reveals beings that challenge our perception and understanding of reality. Are you ready to uncover the hidden truths behind the most mysterious beings in the Bible? Stick with us as we journey through this fascinating exploration, delving into their purpose, significance, and the profound lessons they offer. Trust me, by the end, you'll see the Bible in a whole new light. 1. The 24 Elders, celestial rulers with a divine purpose. One of the most enigmatic scenes in the Bible occurs in the book of Revelation, where the Apostle John, during his exile on the island of Patmos, witnesses a vision of God's throne room. Among the splendor and glory, he describes the presence of 24 elders seated on thrones, each adorned in white robes and crowned with gold. These figures are not mere men. They are beings of incredible honor and significance. But who are these 24 elders? What is their role in the celestial court? The 24 elders are often thought to represent a heavenly council that serves God. They are often seen as a symbol of the redeemed, standing in the presence of God, giving praise and worship. The golden crowns they wear signify their victorious faith, while their white robes represent the righteousness imparted to them by God. These elders, though appearing human, are not angels. The Bible makes it clear that angels do not wear crowns, nor are they seated on thrones. This distinction underscores their unique role in the heavenly hierarchy. Their actions, bowing before God's throne and casting their crowns before him, speak to their humility and reverence for the Almighty. Their declaration in Revelation 4:11, "You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For you created all things, and by your will they exist and were created," reveals their understanding of God's supreme. The 24 elders are celestial beings entrusted with overseeing God's will, bearing witness to his majesty, and leading the heavenly worship. 2. The 4 living creatures, guardians of the throne. In the same visionary experience that introduces the 24 elders, John also encounters 4 living creatures that surround God's throne. These beings, described in Ezekiel's vision and in Revelation, are often depicted with a mixture of animal and human features, with faces resembling a lion, an ox, a man, and an eagle. These creatures are not merely symbolic, but represent aspects of God's creation and sovereignty. The 4 living creatures are often interpreted as guardians of God's throne, ensuring that his glory is upheld and his will is carried out. They have wings and are full of eyes, symbolizing the omniscience of God. These creatures worship God continually, offering unceasing praise. Holy, 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 holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Revelation 4:8. These living beings serve as a reminder of God's presence in every corner of creation. They are not bound by the limitations of time or space, and their constant worship serves as an eternal testimony to the greatness and holiness of God. 3. The wheels within wheels, the mysterious vision of Ezekiel. Ezekiel's vision is one of the most complex and enigmatic experiences recorded in the Bible. In his prophetic book, Ezekiel describes a vision of God's glory manifesting in a chariot-like structure, complete with wheels that seem to defy the laws of physics. These wheels, described as a wheel within a wheel, are symbolic of God's omnipresence and omnipotence. Ezekiel's description of the wheels moving in all directions without turning suggests that God's actions are not limited by human constraints. The spirit of the living creatures is in the wheels, signifying that God's will and presence permeate every part of creation. The multiple eyes on the wheels further symbolize God's perfect knowledge and understanding of all things. Though this vision may appear surreal, it conveys a powerful message. God is not confined to a single location. His presence is everywhere, and His will is unstoppable. The wheels within wheels serve as a symbol of God's infinite and all-encompassing power. 4. The Behemoth, the mighty creature of Job. The book of Job introduces us to one of the most mysterious creatures in the Bible, the Behemoth. Described as a massive, herbivorous creature with immense strength, the Behemoth's identity has sparked considerable debate among scholars. Some suggest that it could be an ancient creature like a hippopotamus or an elephant, while others propose that it may represent a mythical or symbolic creature. What makes the Behemoth so fascinating is its portrayal as a creature that is both awe-inspiring and humble. In Job 40:15-24, God describes the Behemoth's power and majesty, emphasizing that it was created by God and is beyond human control. The creature's sheer size and strength are meant to illustrate the greatness of God's creation and the insignificance of human pride. The Behemoth's description serves as a powerful reminder that God's creation is beyond our understanding. It invites us to acknowledge our limitations and recognize that God's wisdom and power are far greater than anything we can comprehend. 5. The Leviathan, a terrifying sea creature. The Leviathan is another mysterious creature mentioned in the Bible, particularly in the book of Job. Described as a fierce and untamable sea monster, the Leviathan symbolizes the chaos and danger of the natural world. Its description in Job 41 is both terrifying and awe-inspiring, as God paints a picture of a creature that is both indestructible and magnificent. Some scholars believe the Leviathan could be a representation of a large sea creature, such as a crocodile or whale, while others view it as a symbol of evil and chaos. The Leviathan's indestructibility and fearsome nature are often interpreted as a metaphor for the forces of evil in the world, forces that only God has the power to control and overcome. The Leviathan reminds us of the immense power of God's creation and His ultimate authority over the forces of nature and evil. It challenges us to reflect on our own vulnerabilities and trust in God's sovereignty over all things. 6. The Seraphim, six-winged beings of fire. The Seraphim are heavenly beings described in the book of Isaiah. These six-winged creatures are seen surrounding God's throne, praising Him and proclaiming His holiness. With two wings they cover their faces, with two they cover their feet, and with two they fly. Their fiery appearance symbolizes their purity and zeal for God's glory. The Seraphim's role is to worship God continually, declaring His holiness and purity. Their presence in Isaiah's vision emphasizes the incomprehensible majesty of God and the holiness of His being. The Seraphim are so holy that even they must cover themselves before God, acknowledging their unworthiness in His presence. Through their worship, the Seraphim teach us about the importance of reverence and humility before God. Their fiery zeal for God's glory challenges us to live with a similar passion and devotion in our own lives. 7. Lucifer, the fallen angel. Lucifer, once a beautiful and powerful archangel, is one of the most tragic figures in the Bible. According to Isaiah 14:12-15 and Ezekiel 28:12-19, Lucifer was cast out of heaven after his pride led him to rebel against God. He sought to exalt himself above God, desiring to be worshipped as the Most High. As a result, he was expelled from heaven and became known as Satan. Lucifer's fall from grace serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pride and self-exaltation. Despite his beauty, wisdom, and power, Lucifer's desire for control led to his downfall. He is now the adversary of God and humanity, seeking to corrupt and deceive people away from God's truth. Lucifer's story reminds us that pride can lead to spiritual destruction. It calls us to humble ourselves before God and acknowledge His supremacy in our lives. 8. Melchizedek, the mysterious priest-king. Melchizedek is one of the most mysterious figures in the Bible. He appears in Genesis 14 as the king of Salem and priest of the Most High God. He blesses Abraham after Abraham's victory over his enemies and receives a tenth of everything from Abraham. The mystery surrounding Melchizedek is compounded by the fact that his genealogy is never mentioned in the Bible. In Hebrews 7, the author draws parallels between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ, noting that Melchizedek's priesthood is unique and eternal, much like the priesthood of Christ. Melchizedek's name means king of righteousness, and he is a symbol of divine righteousness and peace. Melchizedek's enigmatic nature points to the eternal and unchanging nature of God's priesthood. His role foreshadows the coming of Christ, who would become the eternal high priest for all believers. 9. The angel of death, the destroyer. The angel of death, also known as the destroyer, is another mysterious being in the Bible. This figure is first mentioned in Exodus 12, when God sends the angel of death to strike down the firstborn of Egypt during the final plague. The Bible describes the angel of death as carrying out God's judgment on those who have rejected him. While the Bible does not provide many details about the angel of death, its role in the Exodus narrative highlights God's power to deliver justice. The angel's actions serve as a reminder of the seriousness of sin and the consequences of disobedience to God. The angel of death symbolizes both divine judgment and mercy. For those who are covered by the blood of the Lamb, there is protection. But for those who reject God, there is no escape from judgment. 10. Demons, the spiritual adversaries. Demons are spiritual beings that oppose God and seek to lead people astray. Throughout the Bible, we see demons interacting with humanity, often possessing individuals or causing harm. Demons are often associated with evil spirits that seek to deceive and destroy. Jesus Christ, however, has authority over demons, and his power to cast them out demonstrates his supremacy over all spiritual forces. In the Gospels, we see Jesus healing those who are possessed by demons and freeing them from their torment. Through his authority, Christ offers liberation from the spiritual forces that seek to control humanity. Demons remind us of the reality of spiritual warfare. They are adversaries that seek to undermine God's work, but in Christ we have victory over them. The Bible is full of mysterious beings that defy our understanding, yet they reveal profound truths about God's nature and his plans for creation. From the 24 elders to the Leviathan, these beings offer us glimpses into the divine realm and teach us valuable lessons about worship, humility, and the sovereignty of God. As we reflect on their significance, let us be reminded of God's infinite wisdom and power, and the eternal victory that is ours through faith in Jesus Christ. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the most mysterious beings in the Bible. May this exploration deepen your understanding of the spiritual realm and inspire you to seek God's truth and light in your own life.